Foreword by Sri Lakshminivas Junjunwala. Though many of the ancient civilizations in the world have been lost and are but a few pages in the history books, the Indian culture has survived the onslaught of foreign invasions and oppression of centuries. It continues to fascinate the thinking people all over the world. It is also true that the foreign suppression and the subsequent slavery have left the nation weak and submissive. But the inbuilt defense system, as it were, has always helped us bounce back to health. That's because we have learned something or the other, not only from the visitors who came from time to time, but even our oppressors under the dictum of a verse from the first mandala of the Rigveda, the most ancient sacred text in the recorded history of human history. Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Indian culture has been silently influencing and inspiring human thought in all corners of the world. The foundation of our noble culture is enshrined in our Vedas, especially the Upanishads. The Upanishads are also called Vedanta, literally mean the end of the Vedas, either on account of their position at the end of certain books of the Vedas, or on the account of their representing the essence and conclusions of the Vedas. They are also called Rahasya or secret, as only qualified initiates had access to them under the direct guidance of their preceptors. They do not treat the secular knowledge, which any science can teach, but Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman, the ultimate reality of the universe. The province of these scriptures is a unique one. Such questions as whether man's personality survives after physical death, whether he ever returns to this world, what is his final goal, what is the nature and goal of the world, what is the nature of God and of soul, and what is their relationship with each other and with the world, and what is the ultimate truth of existence, obviously come under this description, and the Upanishads give us the last word on all such matters. It is open to us to verify their statements by actual experience with along the lines prescribed by them. The truths indicated are not mere theories but facts, and as such are verifiable and invulnerable. The word Upanishad consists of Upa, Ni and Shad. Upa means near, Ni means devotion, and Shad means to sit. That is, the disciple sits near the Guru with devotion to receive the wisdom of experience. Mandukya Upanishad in sloka 781 explains as to what happens when the disciple comes near the Guru. He derives strength and becomes receptive, and in this mood of receptivity serves the Guru. It is when he comes near the Guru that he is able to observe the day-to-day life and also is able to listen to the sermons and understand them fully. In such understanding lies his ability to regulate his own life according to the truths he observes in his Guru's life and the teachings he has received verbally. Thus, when the disciple's learning becomes a part of his life, there is enlightenment. The Upanishadic period is believed to be from 3000 to 1000 BC. Vedas were much earlier period. That was the period when there was neither electricity nor any power-driven communication, nor was there any printing press. The disciples used to live with their gurus, and the Upanishads, like the rest of the Vedas, were handed down orally and were preserved for posterity, writing being a thing of later introduction. We find quite naturally the same subject treated with some variations in different Upanishads. There were many Upanishads, and some of them have been lost. Tradition lists 108 Upanishads. However, 11 Upanishads are very popular, and many saints and scholars chose to comment upon them. The Upanishads develop ideas that are in germ form in the Samhitas, and in so doing refine them and raise them to a higher level. For instance, heaven looms large in the Samhitas. People want to go there after death under the belief that they will get everlasting joy uncontaminated by sorrow. And the performance of sacrifices is thought to be the chief means of attaining heaven. The Upanishads take into consideration this desire on the part of man for prolonged enjoyment, but they show him the fallacy of clinging to heaven, which, like all other joys, are also evanescent. So he must look elsewhere for abiding bliss, and yet it is right within his reach. They coax him to examine the experiences of his daily life. They gradually bring his attention towards the most readily available object, himself. Thus, they are in a way the practical records of the experiments that have been conducted by our sages, and more importantly, which can be conducted by interested seekers. I refer to one of them, Mandukya Upanishad, perhaps one of the shortest of the Upanishads with only 12 mantras. So deep are the 12 verses that seekers have spent entire lives analyzing and meditating upon them. In the process of trying to understand this Upanishad, I came across the commentary of Swami Akhandanandji in Hindi. It is in 4 volumes, running into 2000 pages. A layman may need a whole lifetime to study and understand the same. Our life is divided into 3 states of consciousness: wakeful, dream, and deep sleep, which we experience every day. There is another state called Turiya, when the seeker melts and identifies himself with the Atman, which is the ultimate aim and objective of life. Knowing my interest in Mandukya Upanishad, my friend Sri J.P. Jain of Motilal Banarasidas, the famous Indological publishers, presented me their book written by Sri Somraj Gupta, a retired professor of English from Kirorimal College in Delhi. The title of the book is The Word Speaks to the Faustian Man. I started reading and then met him. I was lost with him for 3 hours. He was not just sharing his knowledge, but I realized that he was a sadhaka in a very advanced stage. In the mantra 5 of the Upanishad, the state of deep sleep has been referred to as Evanandamayaha, filled with bliss. This joy is great and abundant. The happiest man is he who has no desire. Lord Krishna also tells Arjuna that he who has conquered all desires is Astita Prajna, one who has stable awareness. The sleep gives a glimpse into such joy which is devoid of desires. The great English writer William Shakespeare expresses a similar thought in Macbeth, after Macbeth has murdered Duncan. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care. The death of each days of life, sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nurture's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. The chief nourisher is not the political power, not immense riches, nor the intellectual attainments, but the chief nourisher of life is this silence which appears to us as a mere blank, which need not given heed to. The Upanishad suggests us to examine the various states experienced by us every day. On careful observation, we find that the wakeful state is as unreal as the dream state. One may suffer the agonies in the wakeful and dream states, but the deep sleep state releases us from all agonies and ecstasies. In this sense, one dies every night and is reborn the very next morning, and this life consists of a string of lives and deaths. The Mandukya Upanishad does not stop there. It says that the joy experienced in deep sleep is only negative as it is devoid of the strain and pressures experienced during our wakeful sense indulgence and involvement and dream fantasies. Upanishads thus help us think about ourselves. Our whole life is spent in learning about other things without even a single thought to ourself, which is the nearest to us. Similarly, there are other aspects of our daily existence which are examined from different Upanishads from different points of view. I have known Raghunandan very closely for the past 30 years as a very sincere sadhaka. He is blessed to be inspired by God and is also gifted with a keen intellect and power of expression. He has been working with his wife Vasanta for our senior secondary school at Hurda, Rajasthan for the past 20-25 years. It was a pleasant surprise for me that the famous Indological publishers Motilal Banarsidas approved his book for publication under the title The Wisdom of Vasishta. And through a strange coincidence, as it were, it was noticed by the then President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The book had just been published when I had to meet Dr. Kalam for certain guidance on nanotechnology. He showed great interest in the book. I requested him to release it, for which he readily agreed. It was released on October 18, 2004 at Rashtrapati Bhavan, Delhi. In his present book, Insights into Existence, Essays on the Upanishads, Raghunandan has tried to convince us that these great scriptures are really meant for all of us in facing the day-to-day problems and to make our lives more sane, happy, and harmonious. The essays presented in this book attempt to give a glimpse into the Upanishadic methodology, or vichara as it's called, which uses doubt and inquiry. Like his other books, the treatment is practical as he gives out Upanishadic method of understanding oneself. I dare say that he has succeeded in the attempt as he presents the juice of all this wisdom in this smaller publication. He keeps it on a platter for our consumption by making it highly readable and enjoyable so that we get the taste of the nectar of Indian culture. I am very confident that the book will be welcomed by the readers and will prove useful to all seekers. Lakshminivas Jhunjhunwala, December 18, 2007, New Delhi. Sri Lakshminivas Jhunjhunwala is the Chairman Emeritus of LNJ Bhilwada Group, Chairman Ramarpan Educational Society, and Vice President of Ramakrishna Mission and Mutt, Delhi. In spite of his involvement in the corporate sector, he has varied interests. He is very active in education, in the promotion of chess in India, as he is the president of Botvinnik Chess Academy, Russian Culture Center, which produced the first 3 Indian grandmasters. A trekking enthusiast, as he has covered many glaciers in Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Sikkim. Music, as he learned Drupad from the famous musician Aminuddin Dagar. Astronomy, as he is a gold medalist in the mathematics from Calcutta University and a student of Dr. Satyen Bose. He is actively involved with Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission and other service organizations. He has studied Sri Ramakrishna literature in original Bengali, the works of Swami Vivekananda and Vedanta. His book Vishwa Dharma Sammelan 1893 in Hindi gives a graphic account of the contemporary world and the proceedings of the World Parliament of Religions, during which Swami Vivekananda introduced Indian culture and philosophy to the world.